모닝 파워! 모닝 터보!
StarCraft is a beautiful game, Rapid. You can have games in just 2-3 minutes. You can have games that go for over an hour. And it seems like tonight we're speedrunning the SSL Classic. We are flying through these games, but that's one of the cool things about StarCraft is not every game has to be the same length. If you just don't scout correctly, or if you have a really cool strategy, you slide in there and your opponent doesn't know what's going on, you can kind of pull a fast one and win a game like that.
Yeah, that's right, Wolf. It doesn't matter how long your game is, it's how you play it. And tonight, we've seen a variety of strategies, but we still have yet to watch a PvP. So that's what's coming up next as Free takes on Rain. And you know, I'm just a hashtag big fan of Rain. Ever since he came back from StarCraft 2 as one of the best players there to StarCraft 1, he's just been tearing it up. Super solid. He knows how to do some cheeky cheeses. We saw in his first 2 games of the SSL, like 2 base carriers, then like a forward gateway rush, and both of them have been very, very effective. But he did take his first loss in the SSL last week, so see if he can right the Rain ship.
That's what I'm hoping for as well. It's definitely going to be an exciting one in this Protoss versus Protoss, because I feel like just kind of as it always goes, one player is going to expand, the other is going to tack. That's just, in my experience of casting Brood War Pro PvPs, that always ends up happening, which is kind of this tug-of-war game. As you can see, that loss against Soki was his most recent match. Did win 2 PvTs, the matchup he's most known for. So, very well played by Rain in those. With the 2 tricky tactics. Didn't even get to show his late-game PvT, which is, again, what he's most known for, most famous for. So, hoping to see that later on in this tournament. But his opponent, of course, will be Free. More successful overall than Rain in his Brood War career. And considered to be one of the dragons because of his innovation, along with Bisu in the PvZ matchup. Perhaps just running back from a bathroom break or something. He's like not going to be showing camera. There he is.
All right. Didi is looking a little bit nervous there. He is down 1-2, so has yet to break that 1 million won mark here in the SSL. But tonight could be his night. You know, we never really got a chance to see Rain really come to full fruition, reach his full potential in Brood War before switching over into StarCraft 2. So ever since coming back, I think really that has been his burden to prove that he definitely can fit up there with maybe some new dragons in this era of Brood War. And so new versus the old very much in effect here as we come into our last game of the night.
Yeah, and it's for Rain to win this one would, I feel, make a big statement in terms of who's in form right now. And Rain really being more known for his StarCraft 2 play massively than his Brood War play. He's multiple-time champion in StarCraft 2. Never had that. Was at the top of the list of good Protosses at the end of Brood War, using the ID Sun back then in Pro League, just not really having much of a presence in the OSL.
And then the clouds came out, the sun changed into Rain, and he has enjoyed quite a different Rain with a G in it over the course of his previous career, and even over SSL, he's been looking really great. Still a very defensive player that apparently is very well accomplished when it comes to aggressive options. But this is PvP. Really anything can happen. Lots of different builds, lots of things to watch out for. And I'm actually really excited to cast this game with our new Observer overlay, so we can see exactly when everything gets built and how players manage. Even when it comes to things like their APM or ZVZ, very high APM game. And it's going to be exciting to see what they do with that.
That's right. You know, it's funny that Rain spent so much time in his Brood War career and won the first and only StarCraft 2 OSL, you could actually argue, where he was able to defeat Dongray Gu. Just thinking about his Brood War career, they talked about his weakness in the OSL, but when OGN did run the 2013 WCS Korea, he did win that tournament when the Kestrel players were switching over. So, kind of an ironic statement that I made earlier, just considering that run there. But here we go, guys. We're going to jump into our 4th and final match of the evening, our Protoss versus Protoss mirror, Rain versus Free.
용태 하나 둘 셋
Here we are. It is time for the Protoss vs. Protoss. Free will spawn to the top left off screen. There he is. And Rain will spawn to the bottom here of Neo Medusa. 7 o'clock expansion.
All right, so we do get a chance to watch a 3-player map for once. Big
That's
fan
right.
of these. We've seen 2, 4, and now 3-player maps. One day out there, there'll be a 5-player map. Probably not in the near future. But it's going to be cool to watch these guys go up against each other. New patch being used again, and we'll see what their builds look like here on it. Now, Pylon coming down. Oh my god, that was thrown down right before he was about to get supply block. He's so good at this game.
Yeah, man, it's hard though, because, you know, in StarCraft 2, when you make a pylon, you press BE. But in Brood War, you gotta press BP. Since they took my hotkeys away from me again in 1.18, I was very happy for about a week.
The hotkeys away.
But I'm back used to BP in here.
I actually really like the Protoss hotkeys because you can just do 0P, 9P, which is the hotkey for building probes if you assign your Nexi to the ending
Yeah, sure.
numbers.
If your hands are backwards and you like pressing 0, like that's so far away.
You just gotta like redistribute things. Or just get good. That's my advice. But a lot of fans in the audience, so a lot of cheering for both of these players, and it does appear, at least initially, as if mirrored builds on both sides.
Yeah, so in this matchup, there's a lot of different builds. Let's kind of talk about several of the ones that we see. No, you're not going to upgrade plasma shields on the probe observer.
That's the real upgrade.
That's not it. But the strong opening for attack is obviously going to be some sort of heavy gateway opener to attack a Nexus, for example. You can also bring a slower tech into the attack with the Reavers.
Thanks for coming down, guys.
Yeah,
Good to have you in the house.
Got to explain to the whole family how to watch Brood War. And that's what you guys should be doing at home as well. Looks like we're just going to have that pylon to check to make sure no shenaniganry. So there's the Reaver openings you can do on this map. Reaver drop, Reaver aggression, and then there's defensive gateway openings, but eventually you're going to go into the Reaver path. Dark Templar are a whole nother beast entirely because they can just straight win you a game or lose you a game if your opponent goes for a quick observatory, for example. So getting these probes across the map, scouting, obviously gives you a huge extra boon of information where you can start to suss out exactly what your opponent is doing.
Yeah, I really like that our builds are so mirrored that the gas count for these players is identically even. You look at it, it changes at the same rate, exactly the same amount has been spent. This is almost a completely mirrored game. So it'll be really cool to watch these players because it will be the insane APM that you can see there free up around 500 actions per minute. So first Dragoon coming out there, and that's actually one of the things I'm interested in seeing because this is being played on the new patch, and apparently Dragoons move a little bit more fluidly, but not much from my experience.
Same with mine, but well, we will see if that's over time starts to look more clean.
Okay, so we're going to be seeing range come out here for Dragoons.
Yes.
Fairly standard, nothing weird. My analogy for Dragoon movement is that when Galileo was forced to recant his idea that the Earth moved around the sun, he recanted, but he also said his final words were, I think it's "et por si muove." It's like, and yet it moves. Somehow, in the face of all of this overwhelming evidence, it does in fact move. Unlike our game, apparently, which is going to have to take a brief breakerino here. So
look at that sick menu.
Oh, we're shrouded in mystery, guys.
Dark Templar casters.
Basically invisible.
So we've reached the end of the file. That's it. There's no more file. It was all played before. There was no more into the file.
That's where everybody starts
It was
spamming
all
live.
planned.
Is this live? Maybe we just like put the players in the booths and us here in the audience.
All right, let's get back on track in this game real quick.
Okay.
There's obviously...
what could possibly have happened while we were gone, Wolf?
Well, not a whole lot, but
yeah.
As it turns out, it is going to be a quick observatory coming up here for safety, and the additional gateway coming out for Rain, whereas Free back at home as... Oh, it's Best.
Oh my god. Doje Wook there in the audience.
Making a sneaky appearance.
The lights go off. Best appears. It's a sign, Wolf.
It's a sign. Right, this is why you do mine the minerals, actually, as Rain did, because you can glitch the pylon, as we've talked about several times on Medusa. Really important in PvP as well. He's going to come in for the scout, but because Rain actually mined his minerals, Free could not do this, so he's going to send this probe in. The Dragoons are on their way over here for the scout deny, and it looks like they will, for the most part, completely deny the scout.
Nice. All right, yeah, so great pylon placement there to scout the probe coming in. If you don't want to put the pylon there, you can always just clear the minerals out. It's just a really cool way to kind of get that sneaky scout in. Sometimes it works, this time it doesn't. So this is going to be our departure in builds, or I guess it might not actually be. Both players setting up to take their naturals, but it's going to be a little bit faster for Rain. Yeah,
Rain also has his robotic support bay coming up, so he's going to have Reavers to help support this. He has the fast observer. Wants to really scout this, whereas it looks like we're going to see drop play coming out from Free. That's his way, and he wants to attack. Instead of expanding, he's going to actually have this Robo Bay.
Yeah, really hiding the Robo Bay way out there, so not likely to be scouted. Observer will come in here and scout and see everything.
The shuttle. It's super important for him to see that shuttle.
And he does see the shuttle. I don't think he saw the support bay up above there, but I think he can probably figure out what's going on here.
He also is going to confirm no Nexus, so he knows, okay, this is going to be a tough hold. I need to bunker down here, and I don't mean build bunkers, of course, but he needs to get his units set up in a really nice concave, really get, spend all of his resources, even cancel units if needed, to actually...
Observer battles, taking it out.
But he needs to make sure that he has the Reaver out for the defense. His bay has finished, so he needs to be making that right now. If he has to cancel a Dragoon to make it, that is just what has to happen. He needs to have his own Reaver out, or defending this is just basically not happening. And he may have to give the natural up regardless, because of this shuttle going to give some more mobility to the army of Free.
Oh, there's a shield battery back. So this is cool. You don't get a chance to see shield batteries very much. In case you're like, what does that unit do? I've never seen it before. It restores the shields. It has energy. It restores shields on units. So great defensive setup, but a lot of times it's not enough to stop what is going to be a shuttle in a Reaver, which is basically God mode.
Okay, so he doesn't cancel Nexus, he wants to hold firm here. First Reaver shot is decent, good micro by Free on the shuttle.
Oh my
Second
God.
Scarab not as good, but he has a large amount of Dragoons here, as you can see. Shield Battery actually helps protect this Reaver. Does get the 3 kills there, but it does go down. He's have more rallying units here. The spread on Dragoons here for Rain is good. And actually, he may just be able to hold this from rallying units. Kills the shuttle now. And that shield battery allowed that Reaver to tank so much more here. He's still outnumbered right now, but he's got more gateway production as units rally across.
Yeah, but Reaver versus no Reaver.
Oh, and he doesn't have a shuttle for this one.
Nope.
Gets a good shot, though, regardless.
But in the end, it will not be enough. And even without a shield battery, that Reaver is looking good. He actually might be able to kill the shield battery just to make sure that it's out of there.
He just did not have enough there afterwards. Didn't have a shuttle. That's really the issue. He went for a second Reaver. First Reaver goes down. Second Reaver didn't even have a Scarab immediately. And timing attack like that is so difficult to hold, even with the shield battery, as you mentioned.
Wow.
Just outnumbered there, and the good spawning locations for that attack as well for Free.
That's like the difference between the SSL and the ASL. We don't have a shuttle, but I guess now they don't either, because he did get knocked out. But for tonight's game, that is really going to do it. What fast mirror matches we've seen today. A lot of people think of mirror matches as, well, it's so even that no player can get an advantage. Well, no, it turns out there are very different strategies, and Rain tried to go for that base and defend it with a shield battery, and it just barely was not enough.
Yeah, I really just thought he would have had more rally units. I must have only had a few gates there. It's always tough to have even gateways with your opponent, where your attack timing, talking about Freeze, of course, is that crisp. You don't have the time to get the gateways from the extra money that you have from the Nexus. It's like really tight of a window there. So he didn't have enough to defend, even though the shield battery was really cool. Perhaps some of them better spent somewhere else. Did help him tank that shot and get another Reaver shot off of his own. But he didn't pull probes or anything, too. He was pretty confident he was going to hold. He did not. And so a very quick night of SSL Classic here. An hour and 21 minutes is basically the runtime for this one.
That's about one of my TVT lengths. But let's go ahead and look at our results for today, or not. You guys saw them. Here's the overall rankings. Mind and Effort advance to be our first 2 players to win 1 million wands, about 900 bucks, in the SSL Classic this season. And Light picks up his first victory and is now tied with Hero at the bottom of the standings.
That's right. So we're starting to kind of thin out the rosters in terms of who's on top, with the loss of Rain, putting him at 2-2. Sock as well, losing to that cheese, will give Light his first victory. Hero and him are tied at the bottom of our standings, and next week it's going to thin out probably even further. So excited to see how those matches will play out, but really just hoping we see longer games here at the SSL Classic. Feels like that's the ASL gets the more macro games, and we get the cheeses and wonky builds so far anyways.
Well, the Brood War gods were with us tonight, Wolf. We got it was like not quantity but quality games here tonight. Not only the Brood War gods with us, but as today is in Korea, May the 4th be with you all as well. So
that's right. I didn't even realize it was May the 4th today.
You're going to get your nerd card revoked, man.
Man, I'm ruined. Did they release a new trailer? Because the first episode 8 trailer wasn't that good.
Well, let's not get our hopes up, man. We're trying not to rustle too many jimmies tonight. We're already like using a new patch.
Yeah, I already talked about how I really want the hotkeys back and how 0P is terrible. Like I made so many Brood War fans angry tonight.
I'm just a hashtag big fan, man, and it's really cool to see so many other fans here in the audience. So if you guys had the opportunity to come down to the Nexon Arena, or if you're just watching online, do want to say a big thank you to everyone who continues to support Brood War, whether it's SSL, ASL, random online cups, or just downloading and playing the game for free. You can do all of that, and of course a big thanks to everybody for making all of this possible. So let's go ahead and talk about next week's games. We are going to see Light versus Free, Mind versus Sock, Sulky versus Hero, and closing things out with Rain versus Effort, which should be so good.
Exactly. Mind versus Sock. We'll see the other TVT, Light and the Cheese there, and then we're going to go into that battle of more late game focused Terrans, and Light will have another opportunity to prove himself in the TVP matchup. Rain versus Effort, a classic iconic one from StarCraft 2 from the SKT Protoss and the CJ Zerg. So going back to Brood War, there's like an old Pro League matchup there, and then the other ZVZ hoping for someone can hold a hatchery in that one. We'll just have to wait and see.
It's a lot harder than it looks. But as we got a chance to see, even just here today. So yeah, lots of Brood War out there. And if you guys want to pick up tickets to come down and see us next week, head on over to ticketlink.co.kr and somehow magically find out how to buy tickets there. Or you can always just come down to the Nexon Arena and pick up your tickets like many of our fans did here tonight. And next, we're going to reach into our StarCraft 2 Pot of Greed. That allows us to draw 2 more days of awesome games. We're only going to see 3 games in SSL Challenge because we are finishing up the run. We're going to qualify all of our players for the Fast Lane, which our players in Premier will maybe have to be a little bit more worried about as the Challenge players try to take their spots.
Yeah, Zest and SOS particularly really in dire straits and having to face off against Alive and Innovation. They may even drop further down into the rankings as they are down, I believe, in 1 and 7. It's been a tough, long road for those two in SSL Premier, but it's just not really gone well. So, see if they can redeem themselves in the Fast Lane. Otherwise, they're going to get relegated themselves down to Challenge.
All right, well, I'm going to try to lower my seat so I'm the same height as Wolf, and we're good. So thanks so much for watching here tonight, wherever you are. If you're a fan of StarCraft, we appreciate you for lending us your energy, your views, your upvotes, whatever it is. Thanks for watching. Have a great night, everybody.